Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday. My name is Juanita Williams. I am a purpose conduit. I am the link to life beyond pain and the channel to discovering purpose. And this is today's Tuesday Truths. So today we'll be talking about passing the baton. Pass the baton. Focal scripture is Deuteronomy 31:8. And I read from the New Living Translation. And it reads as such. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord will personally go ahead of you. He will be with you. He will never fail you nor abandon you. That's Deuteronomy 31:8. And in this passage, Moses is speaking to Joshua. So I love track and field. It's my favorite sport. And every chance I get, I watch it. So let's look at this passage and imagine it as a relay race to the promised land. So God ran the first leg. He passed the baton to Moses when he called him at the burning bush. Moses led the people of Israel for 40 years, and now it was time for him to pass the baton to Joshua. So in this passage, Moses drew Joshua's attention to the most important person in the story or the race, and that is God. Moses had been a crucial leader, but it was only because of God that Israel could move forward. It was only because of God that they made it as far as they did. And because God is the author of the story, his provision would continue after Moses is gone. Let's read that verse again. Deuteronomy 31:8. It says, do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord will personally go ahead of you. He will be with you. He will neither fail you nor abandon you. He will neither fail you nor abandon you. Psalm 91:1-2 can back that verse up. And it says, those who live in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. This I declare about the Lord. He alone is my refuge, my place of safety. He is my God, and I will trust him. And that's coming from the New Living Translation. Because God was with Israel, Joshua didn't need to fear anything. And when God is with you, there is nothing to fear. He will lead the way. Can I say that again? God will lead the way, so there is no reason to fear. So as God encouraged Moses to run the race given to him, Moses encouraged Joshua to run the race that was given to him. So now we're talking about passing the baton. God passed it to Moses, and now it's Moses' time to pass it to Joshua. So God passed the baton to Moses at the burning bush, and now it's Moses' turn to pass the baton to Joshua to take the children into the promised land. So we know the end of the story. Joshua led the children of Israel into the promised land, and he could only do that because God was with him. God led the way. So God is the one who ran the first leg and the last leg. So as Joshua led the children of Israel into the promised land, he led them through the leading and the guidance of God. He was at the beginning and he was at the end. He ran the first leg and he ran the last leg of that awesome journey of freedom and deliverance for the children of Israel. And he will do the same for you. He will do the same for you. So while we're talking about passing the baton, let's look at a few others who passed the baton. Remembering, though, that God is always at the beginning and God is always at the end of the race. Elijah passed the baton. Let me switch that around. Elijah passed the baton to Elisha. David passed the baton to Solomon. Jesus passed the baton to the disciples, and the disciples passed the baton to the Gentiles. Okay? Also to the Jews who didn't believe, but the disciples passed that baton. And now that brings us the whole story into context for the people of today. Now it's our turn to carry the gospel to the world, because we are a part of an amazing legacy of hope. So it's our turn to carry the baton, because it has been passed to us from the disciples. So it is our turn to carry the baton and take the gospel to the world. So when it's our time to go, who will we pass the baton to? Proverbs 22:6 says this, and I'm reading this from the New King James Version. It says, "Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." Who are you passing the baton to? Who are you entrusting with the gospel of Jesus Christ that saves? Pass the baton. Who will you pass that baton to? Pray about it and then go with God. That is today's Tuesday Truths. My name is Juanita Williams. I am a purpose conduit. I am the link to life beyond pain and the channel to discovering purpose. And this is today's Tuesday Truths. May God keep you. May he make his face shine upon you and give you peace. May you be blessed in the coming week. I'll see you next week, God willing. Bye-bye now.